Hi there, this is my tutorial for Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. This is a song that I've been playing for a very long time, and it's a classic tune, a lot of fun to play, really beautiful stuff, one of my favorite Jimi Hendrix songs for sure. So the song is the tuning for the song is in half step down. So that means it's E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat for the strings. So, yeah, and the chord progression is, I think it's important to kind of think about the chord progression as well. The chord progression is basically E minor to G, A minor, back to E minor, B minor, B flat, A minor, C, important to think about that first and to understand those chords, just to play them as open chords, and just knowing the lengths of the chords, like how many bars they're played for. Some of them are a full bar, some of them are 2 bars or even half bar. So just getting the sense of the chord progression to lay the foundation for the song, because that's what's going to carry it throughout the entire piece basically. And then to get into the specifics of the technique, in the intro, we have this muted stroke where your hand can come down from above, and basically your hand is going to mute the strings before the pick makes contact. And then your first finger, so we have that's the very first beat, and the first finger, I use my first finger for this, the bottom 3 strings, or the G, B, and high E string. Just doing an upward stroke, and then a downward slide, followed by the open E string. So that's the classic intro to the song. And then you have these 2 muted strokes as well. So just closing your hand on the strings, down, up like that. You immediately know what song it is as soon as you play that part. And this is the next bit. So that's like A, B, E string 5/7, frets 5/7. And then we have these like double stops. And a lot of the song is going to be these classic Jimi Hendrix double stops. So this is, you take your first finger and you're barring the 5th fret, got the A and D strings. And the ring finger comes down only on the A string at the 7th fret. And it's actually a hammer-on. And then you're gonna do the exact same thing down a string below on the D and G string. Again with the hammer-on. And then you slide out of it. And then you're gonna land. I land with my thumb on that low E string, the G, 3rd fret. So that way my fingers, I can keep that note ringing and do a hammer on. So I bar the bottom, the B string, high E string with the first finger at the 3rd fret, and then use the ring finger to do a hammer pull, hammer on, pull off on the high E string at the 5th fret. Strike the double stop again. And then we're going to put the middle finger on the G string at the 4th fret, which gives us like this G major shape, basically. Ring finger is going to hammer on to the 5th fret on the G string. And you can kind of go up and down like that with the right hand, resolving to the G at the 5th fret on the D string. Thumb slides up to the 5th fret on the low E string, and then I do an upward rake here. And this is all just based, it's all double stops, similar to what we did before, but it's just you're in the A minor pentatonic position. So that's A string 5/7, D string 5, and then this is a double stop. bar the G and the B string at the 5th fret, hammer on the ring finger to the 7th fret G string, and then an upward stroke before you resolve to the D string at the 7th fret. What was it? That's basically the A string hammering 5 to 7, E string hammering 5 to 7, sliding out to the low E. Then we're going to do, we did this down here before when we had the G, but we're not going to do it down there. I do it up here because of the riff that's going to follow. We have the low E string, let that ring, and that's the G string, 7, B string, 8, oops, pinky hammers onto 10, and you play the double stop again. And then this nice little riff that we're going to do a little bit later as well. So this is A string, 7, 10, double stop on the D and G string. We're barring that with the first finger again. And that's the ring finger coming down on the D string at the 9th fret. And then lifting off again. It's almost like you go in reverse. The way that you came. And then the pinky plays 10 and 7 on the A string. And then we're going to plant the thumb on the bass string at the B at 7th fret. And we're going to set up in this chord. It's a minor 9 chord. So we have the minor shape here, first finger barring at the 7th fret on the G and B strings. Ring finger planted on the high E string at the 9th fret. So I do a hammer pull at the pinky at the 10th fret. Pull off with the ring finger back to the 7th fret. And then the pinky lands on the B string at the 10th fret, and then releases back to the minor shape there. And then we're going to walk down chromatically, so we do the 6th fret, up and down on the minor chord below, and then I play the whole chord. I play the bass note on the E string at the 5th fret. First finger again, still barring that minor shape. And then we have more double stop riffs here. The first finger is going to bar 7th fret on or 5th fret on the D and G strings, and the pinky, I use the pinky to slide on the D string from 7 to 9, while the G string rings. So you have these two notes together. It's like sliding to 9, 7, 5, and then the pinky goes up to the A string and plays 8th fret and 7th fret, while I'm still barring these two strings over here with the first finger. So all of that harmonizes together. And then D string, 5, 7, 5, with the G string ringing at the 5th fret for the double stop. And then 5th fret sliding to 7th fret on the E string, landing on the G, the 3rd fret on the low E string with the thumb. So that's a kind of a complicated section. And there's really nice chords here, classic Jimi Hendrix chords. Basically, so you have the thumb on the bass note, D string 5, G string open, first finger on the B string 3rd fret, pinky's playing the 5th fret on the high E string. You have this chord. Same chords as in Castles Made of Sound. Castles Made of Sand, rather. So he slides up to the A position, the 5th fret. And then sliding down to the F position, the 1st fret. And I give it a bit of vibrato there, a little bit of neck shake. Landing on a C chord. Classic, just traditional C chord. Hammer maybe with the middle finger on the D string. And then a pull off with the pinky finger on the B string, 3 to 1. sliding in to the D, first finger, 5th fret on the A string. The ring finger comes down to bar, the major chord shape. And we finish with this double stop riff. So that's D string and G string barred at the 7th fret. Hammer on the D string and the 9th fret. Take it off. Pinky lands on the 10th fret on the A string. First finger needs to kind of come up and get the A bar, the A string as well there. And then hammer the ring finger to the A string 9th fret. Really nice double stop lick. So Jimmy was a master at all of that stuff. Really beautiful stuff. That's why, you know, he's the greatest. He like totally revolutionized all of that way of playing the electric guitar. And it works amazingly well on the acoustic as well. It's really great to play this kind of stuff for the acoustic. So a classic intro. That's basically it. It's pretty stock. It's pretty much exactly the way Jimmy played it. Maybe a couple little differences here and there, little stylish things, but otherwise it's pretty much verbatim what he played. And so then once I get into the verse section and pretty much from the rest of it, the way out, it's pretty much improvised. So I'm basically thinking about that chord progression that I laid out in the beginning. So it's just the E minor. I might do like a little hammer on. Come up to the G. And then we come back to that riff, which we did in the intro earlier. You can go back and find that one. And then I'm going to go to A minor. I might do it open. Back to E minor. Or I might do it at the 5th fret. And just use more of those double stops that we used in the intro. The intro, I'm using a lot of the techniques that happen in the intro. I'm just using them again throughout the song in different ways. I might improvise a little bit with them to change them slightly, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking about. And so I've spent a lot of time with this song. We've been playing this song for like 20 years. And so, yeah, I'm used to, I've come up with lots of different ways of playing it, lots of different variations of those double stop licks and just trying those things. So, you know, I'll spend time just how many combinations can I come up with, little fun rhythmic things that I feel like Jimmy might play in each position, you know. So the minor chord, both the A minor and the B, just taking pentatonic kind of positions and double stopping them. So just barring with the index finger and then hammering on or pulling off the ring finger or the middle finger or the pinky finger in the higher up position. So you have all those really cool sounds. This is a chord that I like to use when I come back to the E minor. It's the ending chord as well. E minor 7, add 9. Really beautiful sound. I might go back up to the part that I played in the intro here for E. So I might use that little sound before the B minor. That part back again. You play F like this with the thumb on the bass note, ring finger A string, 3rd fret, pinky D string, 3rd fret, open G, B string, 1st fret, and high E string. Use the middle finger to hammer or pull off on the G string, 2nd fret. To C, with it's like a C/G, meaning that we have a G on the bass note as well. Then just like a D chord or a D sus, the open E string, I like that. like a rake slide. It's a classic Hendrix thing as well, where all of those strings are muted. Upward stroke like that, and then when you get to the E string, you fret it. Doesn't really matter where, it can go from the 12th fret. And just bring it down like that. It's a nice sound. Because there's that drum riff, right? Like the drum riff goes in that space there. And I'll just do like, I'll mute that strumming pattern, or what I think the drums would be there. Yeah, just to keep the time. And then lead it in the E minor again. Then we do a slide on the G and B string. In that D position, we're basically fretting a D chord without the high E string note, middle finger. And just bring that up and down. A minor 7. And just slide the A minor 7 shape. Sounds really nice. These are all like the E minor pentatonic. Oops. Based off the open pentatonic shape. Again, more of these B minor licks. So that's like the bass, the upward stroke on the chord, sliding from the G string 10 back to 9, pulling off to 7, resolving to the D string 9. You know, and you can just do that same lick chromatically. Elements of the intro that I use again there through that sequence. And then the intro chords again when we do the G transition to the F. It does it a little differently there, a little faster with that slide. Up and down, so we go up from the G to the A, and then instead of sliding back to the A, or sorry, sliding back to the G, we just come back to the G and slide to F. And then sometimes when I'm like when I'm going into the solo, I'll climb on this D chord. So this is like, we take the D chord, and then I move the G string note up to the 4th fret. So we have that shape, and then I'll use fingers 3 and 4. This is all on the G and B string. So we're at the 4th and 3rd fret, and then the 5th and 5th fret, 7 and 7, 9 and 8, 11 and 10, and then I'll go up to the octave above from the original position, which is at 14, 15. I might do the octave, you know, I don't have the whammy bar or whatever that he does, the big dive bomb. With that you can kind of bend the neck. I don't do this in the recording, but you can bend the neck a little bit there like that. Push the shoulder towards you, push the neck away from you, gently. And that's just the classic melody from the solo. Stevie Ray Vaughan does it in his version, Jimmy did it in his version as well. So that's that sound. So that's a really important melody, I think, to keep in the solo. So that's just like B string sliding from 3 to 5 with the open E string ringing beneath it. Back to 3, and then open, all double stop. And then back 0, 3 on the B, sliding with the G string, 2nd fret to 4th fret with the middle finger. And then once you slide into that note at the 4th fret, you can plant the thumb down on the bass. First finger fills out the rest of the chord beneath. Sliding G string and E string at 5th fret to 7th fret. I might do a little slide out and back like that. More double stops. All of that is stock, again, back to the intro. All those licks from the B minor, descending back to the A minor. Very, very similar to what happened in the intro, just more might improvise it or try to do a slightly different variation of those licks. And then back to the... That's a great melody to keep in the chord progression. And then I think I do this climb a little differently. It's basically the same positions, but just I use the D string instead of the G string. So this is over what would be the D chord. There's a long D chord at the end of the chord progression. So I use... So that's like the D string is fretted, the G string is open, and the B string is fretted. First at 4 and 3, then at 5, then at 7, then at 9 and 8, 10 and 10, 12, and then at 14 and 15, and then I end with that E minor 7, add 9 chord. Really nice there. And that's pretty much it, at least for the version that I did. And beautiful song, classic, and yeah, so hopefully this was informative and you learned a thing or two. And I will be back soon with more tutorials. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.